All right, we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into a new edition of the Face Turn podcast, part of the Sports Insanity Network. We have taken some time off. We are back. Mike and Jeff Lithy. Jeff, how are you, my friend?
I am doing excellent. Got SmackDown on in the background. I'm all psyched for Bad Blood tomorrow.
We will definitely talk bad blood. Speaking of SmackDown, we did have the return of the phenomenal AJ Styles tonight. So
Got SmackDown on in the background. I'm all psyched.
yeah, I mean, and it's a good night because we got Bad Blood tomorrow, and it looks like honestly a really strong show despite only being 5 matches.
Yeah.
But we got a great 5 matches. We'll go over that. We'll go over some AEW stuff as well because it looks like an old WWE faction is heading to AEW. So that debut Wednesday night. But as we said, we got Bad Blood tomorrow night, 5 matches in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll give you predictions of just how we think the matches will play out. And Jeff, you know what? Let's start with the big one. And no, I'm not talking the tag team match because we'll save that one for the end because
Okay.
I'm very disappointed in that match. I'll get into why in a few minutes. But the best rivalry of the year was Drew McIntyre CM Punk. It culminates inside inside of Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. How do you think this one plays out?
Oh, I see Punk, the Second City Saint himself, getting his hands raised, unless they're both dead to the world by the end of the match. But I'm going to go with CM Punk. It's, ooh, now I'm going to wonder, is he going to pinfall submission or escape over the top or out the front door?
Well,
Or
it's
is that
only
just
pinfall or submission, Hell in a Cell.
okay? So, oh yeah, hell, I'm thinking a regular steel cage match. So, yeah, I'm gonna say CM Punk go to sleep, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's game over for Drew. It's got to be because this. Where are we gonna go after Hell in a Cell?
No, this is it. This is it. This is the final match between
Yeah,
the two. And I got to be honest with you. First of all, this feud's been awesome
I've been loving it.
for a long time. But for me, I don't know about you. I think Punk is the guy who could take the L here and survive. If Drew McIntyre loses, I don't know where he goes. Like
Hmm.
Punk is in that spot of, you know what? He will still be as beloved by the people as he's been since he's come back. I kind of
Yeah.
feel Drew actually needs this win more than CM Punk.
Hmm.
Where
I I
you,
I I totally get what you're saying, and now you kind of made me doubt myself. Uh, yeah. Well, I guess no matter who wins, you want to see where they're going to go. I'm assuming the world championship at some point down the road. Um, but unless, yeah, because you're gonna, unless maybe Punk gonna turn on, become a bad guy at some point. I can't see that happening unless at some point it's Roman Reigns regaining his title and taking on CM Punk, and you got uh, Paul Heyman as almost like a middleman again between the two, conflicted, where he's now truly conflicted? Or is it going to be Drew McIntyre and that leads him down the road to take on, say, Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns? Because I don't see this Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns feud storyline ending really anytime soon. So it's just going to be a wait and see no matter who wins this. You're not going to see them in the world title picture, I don't think, anytime soon, because Cody is going to have his hands full with Roman at some point, and Solo Sikoa also in the near future.
Rest of the bloodline.
Yeah.
But
so
here's the thing, and you said it interesting because you brought up Heyman and you brought up Roman. We've been thinking for the longest time Survivor Series War Games is Bloodline Civil War.
Yeah.
That'd be Roman, the Usos, etc., taking on Solo, Tama Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Well, we are yet to see the return of Jimmy Uso. Whether that happens tomorrow night or not, we don't know.
Yep.
Jey Uso just became the Intercontinental Champion. So does all of a sudden, maybe Bloodline Civil War, forget that for a minute, and are we just going to get Team Roman Reigns against a Team Solo, which would feature the Bloodline and maybe The Rock, who knows? And does CM Punk join that team just based on his history of being a Paul Heyman guy? Very interesting way. Because Drew, for me, Drew's already wrestled Rollins a bunch. We don't really need to see that feud again.
Yeah.
I really don't need Drew and Sheamus going after each other again. But there's something about Drew and Gunther that makes you scream, you know what? That could be really good.
That would be very hard, heavy hitting. That would be fun.
Or if Gunther were to lose the world titles to Sami Zayn, you do see Zayn and McIntyre.
Yeah.
Which would also be very interesting. Although I do think it would be way too soon to take the title off of Gunther.
I would be very upset and disappointed if Sami Zayn took the championship from Gunther
for the second time in a year.
He needs that. If he's going to lose it, maybe at WrestleMania next year to somebody that they've built up now at this point.
But
who would it be?
Would probably be Braun Breaker.
If they can
figure that
out. Could be. They'd have to not fast track, but they'd have. No, I wouldn't put Braun Breaker because I think Braun's an eventual world champion.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's too soon. He's still got such a long career ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could be Drew finally getting the championship and just not having to worry about Punk because that's been done. Or will it be CM Punk taking on Gunther at WrestleMania?
And the rivalry they still, or the feud they have in their back pocket, is Punk and Rollins. That is still in the back pocket. That'll happen maybe next year, Mania, who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So we got Drew and Punk and Hell in a Cell. We've got both women's titles on the line. We got Nia Jax taking on Bayley. Basically a SummerSlam rematch. Well, not basically. It is a rematch from SummerSlam. Jeff, Nia, Bayley, or does Tiffany Stratton cash in?
Ooh. That is a very good possibility. Personally, I love Nia Jax. I'm actually a really big fan of Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Bayley somehow getting the win and then immediately take it right off of her and give it to Tiffany Stratton, who cashes in, leaving some type of feud, a new three-way feud between Bailey, Nia, and Tiffany Stratton. But if that doesn't happen, uh, I, I, I think I still think at the end of the day, I think Bailey's gonna end up getting the championship.
Oh, you
And I
do?
love Bailey. She is the Carol Burnett of the WWE. I love Carol Burnett, so that's a huge compliment. Uh, but I just want to see Nia Jax retain that championship. I don't know what it is about her. I just really love her dominance. I It's just something, this aura that she gives off that is really intriguing, and I can't figure out why. I just really enjoy her, and I think part of it's because so many fans dislike her genuinely for some odd reason. I think that what makes me want to like her even more.
You're talking about Nia.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like her too because she's so. I don't want to say this without sounding mean, but she's so different from your usual WWE Women's Champions. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You know, but she brings a different dimension. I personally hope she retains
me too.
because of this reason. Bailey's one of these women, and she's getting into kind of the Natalia and Charlotte area where awesome that they win the belt, but they don't need the belt to make them the belt. They can elevate the belt still, but they don't need it. They could still be in a prominent feud without
Hmm.
a title being on the line.
Yeah,
So, all right, so we got two Nia Jaxes. And then the other women's world title match with Dominic Mysterio inside of a shark cage. Well, if McIntyre and Punk is feud of the year, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley is the soap opera of the year.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to say I'm out on this match, but for me, listen, I think Rhea's awesome. She's going to be my pick to win the Rumble next year.
Hmm.
Spoilers. But I don't think right now she needs the title. Let her keep battling the Judgment Day or find something else for her. I think Liv retains. And I do think she finds a way to cheat, whether that's using Dom or one of the other Judgment Day members.
Yeah. Uh, there's so many different scenarios that I can think of. I mean, the first obvious one is Rhea Ripley just being dominant and Dirty Dom just begging and pleading and crying almost to get out of that shark tank. Um, and feeling so helpless that he can't get to Liv in time to help her retain. Or somehow he's actually able to break out of the shark tank, but at such a late time, he still isn't able to get to Liv in order to break up the 3 count. Or does Liv retain because Dirty Dom is dirty and figures out a way to get out of the shark tank? Some way, somehow. Does he pickpocket the referee and take the key and then wait to the last second, pick the lock, get on out? I think it would be funny if he went to pick the lock and he dropped the key. That would be funny. But
They give them the wrong keys.
yeah, it's something. I think they want to add some type of comic relief to this. I mean, I could see something like that. I think that would be hysterical. Dirty Dom picks the key, puts his arms through the bars, goes to pick it, and it slips right out of his hand, or something like that.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I think if Rhea loses this match, you're I know I think you're going to see Rhea win the championship here.
Oh,
I can't. I think I can't. I because I don't think there's no other championship on the line, and a lot of times they like to have at least one new person. And I could live with Liv Morgan retaining the championship. I'd like to see her wrestle a little bit more, but since the whole revenge tour thing is done, she took the championship away from her. She kind of broke up of sorts the Judgment Day, and she took Rhea's man from her, and that was really the big goals. Now, what's the goal after that? Just to make her life a living hell, more or less. But she's kind of already done that. Injured her, got by with a win when Dirty Don turned on Rhea. She's done everything she's set out to accomplish. So now I think this is where Rhea probably gets her comeuppance and takes that championship off of Liv.
and this also has to speak to a part of I don't want to say the depth of the division, but it's time to insert some fresh blood into the title scene a little bit, just because this feud's been going on for months now.
Mm.
And realistically, whoever wins, we have no idea who the next contender would be.
Something just came to me. Liv Morgan has a very good shot of winning. What if Raquel Rodriguez returned?
That'd be a nice. That'd be some fresh blood.
Yeah, I would love to see. I think besides Nia, somebody of her size and stature, I think the only one who could realistically match Rhea
is Raquel.
Power for power is Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez. I forget which name she goes by.
She's got by both.
It's one or the other. Albeit if she's healthy enough to return, I don't know. I would love for her to return. A wonderful person, just starting to catch on when she had to leave. Beautiful woman. So I think that could be she just has to stop smiling if she's going to be a heel. But if she came back and as a heel and helped out Liv Morgan, because there was some history there.
Do like the Shawn Michaels Diesel or the what they're doing in AEW with Mercedes Moné and Camille.
Yeah, exactly. So if she doesn't return, then it's definitely Rhea. I guess for me now, it's all contingent on does Raquel Rodriguez come back.
All right. Well, the other Judgment Day match is Finn Balor against Damian Priest. Listen, I think with Finn kind of taking over the Judgment Day, I think Priest needs this win more.
Yeah.
Because this makes him go out on his own. He gets to do his own thing. He gets to leave the Judgment Day, at least for now, in the rearview mirror, unless there's another plan. And that would be a secondary War Games match where it's all 5 members of Judgment Day. And yeah, I'm including Liv Morgan in there, taking on Priest, Rhea Ripley, and then they find 3 people to team with them. That could be somewhat interesting. So, who do you like in Priest versus Balor?
Well, I'd love to see Finn win just because I'm a huge Finn fan. But I love Damian. The fact that his moves are based on a Slayer song album too. But
South of Heaven.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to. I am gonna have to go with Damian Priest.
Did you watch his documentary on the network or no?
No, I did not.
Okay. If you get a chance, watch it. It's a great story.
Yeah. Now, do they show his time because I first heard of him in Ring of Honor. Do they show him in Ring of
Yeah,
Honor?
they show some Ring of Honor stuff. They
Oh, good.
show, um, yeah, they show a lot of footage when he first starts out.
Yeah.
Um, he had tried out for the WWE before and didn't make it. Yeah, he goes into, they go in depth on it, and there's some great interviews with him, Rhea, Finn, even though they're wrestling. Triple H was big on this. Uh, his family for sure too.
Hmm. And that's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. All right, and then we come to what I'm presuming is the main event. Tag team match of the ages. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes team up to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu of the New Bloodline. Let me first start by saying I hate this match. I hate this match for 4 reasons. Reason number 1, Cody Rhodes is the world heavyweight champion, should be defending his title, not still involved in the blood with the bloodline. 2, Roman Reigns has still never gotten his rematch from WrestleMania. This would have been an opportunity to use that, or we'll get into the reason why. 3, as well as they introduced Solo Sikoa, and they did a really good job in introducing him to the old bloodline. Every big match he's in now, he loses. Whether he takes the pin or not, does not matter. He loses in these big matches. And reason number 4, you had this match in the palm of your hand. You could have just done a triple threat with Cody, Roman, and Solo. Instead, we got the Cody versus KO match in Berlin after getting Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam. We gotta figure this thing out because I really don't need Cody Rhodes involved with the bloodline. I am sorry for that, Jeff, but do you have any opinion on that?
I think I'm more intrigued on not only who's going to lose, which person's going to get pinned, but who does the pinning. I mean, does Jacob Fatu? Oh, this would be a big one. I don't see it. It's plausible that it can happen. That somehow Jacob Fatu, by some act of God, pins Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes gets taken out by Tama and Tonga and is out. Can't do much. Roman Reigns gets more or less quadruple teamed by the entire bloodline, of course, with the refs back to them. And then somehow Jacob Fatu pins Roman. Now you have Solo Sikoa, who's maybe a little jealous of Jacob. And you don't know what happens there. Just a food for thought on that one. But I couldn't even tell you. Oh, man, this is going to be a hard one to choose. This is like, I mean, you would hope that Cody Rhodes gets the pin, being that he's the world champion. If he does he take it out? I mean, again, he could take it on. He could pin Solo Sikoa. And it's like, how many times does he have to lose before somebody says no? Either Roman is the tribal chief, or what happens, heaven forbid, Tama and Tonga say no. We recognize Jacob Fatu as the new tribal chief.
And if that happens, we have more internal issues in the secondary bloodline.
Yeah, it's like one of those create your own adventure books that I would read. in the sixth and seventh grade. It's like, oh, if you want your character to do this, turn to page 37. If you think your character will do this, turn to page 42. That type of thing.
Well, listen, I think Cody and Roman have to win, and whether there's a beatdown afterwards or not,
Yeah.
probably will because it's a bloodline match. Because the bloodline, that's how it rolls.
Yeah. It could be a double disqualification too.
Well, that was what I'm thinking. Like every time there's been this Cody versus the bloodline issue, we've had the major surprises. Go back to last year at WrestleMania, the Raw after. What did we get? We got Brock Lesnar to be Cody Rhodes' tag team partner, only for him to turn heel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get that Cody versus Brock stuff, which was great. Awesome. This year, think of how great the Mania match was and all the surprises we got in there with Solo and Cena and The Rock and Taker and the Shield music Seth Rollins. So every time Cody's involved with the bloodline, something big happens. Cody Solo at SummerSlam, we see the return of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting something big here. My mind has been, you know what? I really think it's The Rock. And I think The Rock, after this match, as the new bloodline, is beating down Cody and Roman, maybe even Jimmy Uso if he returns. And we're going to finally see The Rock pick a side. Is he on Roman's side? Is he on Solo's side? And when he rock bottoms Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa grabs the lay. I don't know the full name. I apologize.
Yeah.
And he puts the lay over The Rock. And The Rock says, I'm the tribal chief. And now things get really interesting between Roman, The Rock, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I think if or when you see The Rock make a return, I think it'll be closer to WrestleMania time. I wouldn't be shocked if you see possibly the debut of Hikuleo getting involved.
Did you see the name they're giving him?
No.
So this is what I've read online. So whether it's true or not, they're going to call him, or they trademarked the name Taller Tonga.
Oh, I thought I saw something like that, Talatanga or something weird like that.
Taller
Yeah.
Tonga.
It's probably a little easier to pronounce than Hikuleo, maybe when it's rolling off your tongue, even though Hikuleo is not difficult to say. But at least you can say it's like Talatanga, Tamatanga, Tongaloa, which I'm surprised they haven't changed Tongaloa to Loa Tonga yet. But I think they only done it because Hikuleo is not as well known overall, still fairly new, and there's that. And it's almost like they don't want to insult our intelligence by changing the names, which I have never, ever, ever been a fan of. It's like, come on, who lives in this bubble where you're watching only one thing now?
Well, I think that also has to do with trademarks and
yeah,
because I don't believe, argument's sake, I don't think if New Japan has the rights to Hikuleo, I don't think they could sell Hikuleo merch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like Tamatanga might actually own the name, so they can release merch of Tamatanga. Yeah, so like AJ Styles owns his name, so they could sell the merch.
Yeah.
So listen, this is very interesting because there's a number of directions this match could go in.
So many. So many different. It's like, does somebody show up and screw everything over? Who pins who? And when I think in a match like this, no matter who pins who, it's going to dictate the direction of that particular story.
Mm-hmm.
In a match like this big, until maybe say Hikuleu debuts, and then you have Solo, Hikuleu, Jacob, Tama, and Tonga. Those say 5 guys versus Roman, Jimmy. They pry Jay away and say, "Listen, you got to do something for us." But that's going to be a tough. That'll be a whole storyline in itself of him getting convinced to go over to SmackDown from Raw to do this. And then who are your 2 other guys? Do they say, "Hey, uh, oh, what's his name there? Drawing a blank now, but honorary Uce,
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Do they? But at something like that, now you're going to have to see Roman be contrite. But he's already basically said that nothing has changed with him. So he would have to change, have to act contrite, and more or less ask, "Hey, I realize how wrong I was with you. You know how I treated you, yada yada yada. Come back for one more match." Or does Hikuleu come and join and help out Roman Reigns? Anything. It's so many different possibilities. So I'm actually kind of excited for a debut like that, and when that who this person aligns with. So many different things.
And the other person who might return, the Beast. There have been rumors speculating on Brock Lesnar too. So
I don't
know what's for this.
Well, everything. Well, was he specifically named in that one lawsuit, or is there? If he has anything to do with that lawsuit, I can't see him coming back anytime soon until somehow his name is cleared.
So from what I've read, and I could be totally wrong, and I would accept the fact that I'm wrong. He's not. I don't believe he's actually named in the lawsuit. His actions were just brought in. But I will say this: there were reports online this week that surfaced stating he's now on the active roster.
Oh.
So that, I don't know if that means he's coming back. I don't know if that means he was never pushed off to the side. I don't know. But there have been rumors speculating online all week that Brock Lesnar may or may not return at Bad Blood.
And if he shows up,
and who even knows if it's during this match or if it's for something else?
It could be he could show up and
he could be a priest.
Yeah, he could take out Bailey for all we know. We don't know.
Well, like Sable would be too happy.
Yeah, Sable could come out and hear the cat sound or whatever it was that she came out to, and she power bombs Bailey. We don't know. Anything could happen.
To quote the great Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
Yep. Liv Morgan pays him off to get Dirty Dom out of the cage.
Brock comes out to break the cage.
Yeah, even though this would never happen, I just think it would be hysterical if they want to use him in a great comic moment. Brock Lesnar comes out, doesn't get involved in any match. He just is walking around the ring, trying to sell his steaks and steak rubs and all that.
Oh my god, that would be,
which I would buy, because I've seen the videos of him cooking the steaks, which looks like a brontosaurus arm. It's humongous. So feeds a family of 4 with that thing. And then the rubs that he's doing, because I know he's a professional cutter, butcher, whatever. And I feel like Tim Allen, whenever I see him cutting meat, I'm like, oh
yeah. Tim Allen, Home Improvement.
Yep.
If your kids are too young, look it up.
Yep. Watch
Great
the
show.
Yeah. You never see the neighbor's face.
Wilson.
Yep. You only
Hot
see him from
take.
the nose up.
That is how Tom Hanks came up with the character Wilson in Castaway just being a ball.
Yeah,
Not sure if that's true or not.
it sounds good.
It did.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Bad Blood tomorrow night. Watch it on the Peacock. AEW's got a pay-per-view next week, Wrestle Dream. And the main event is going to be Bryan Danielson defending the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley. And Jeff, we were talking about this before we went live. This Moxley story is very interesting.
Yeah. One of their, so far, it's early in its stages. I find it to be one of their better storylines. I'm just really hoping it ends with a better bang than the death match he was in.
Well, what do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Shane McMahon? Do you think it's something else?
Um, nah, no, I don't think it's going to be Shane. If Shane comes out, I think he'll do something with. I would like to say he's going to do something with the Young Bucks, but they're not liked. And in general, I think people actually like Shane McMahon, and I think he's got that going for him. And people know he's, as far as I can tell from anything I've read, he's much more liked than his father, and he has none of that baggage. So if I have no clue where this is going to go. So I think that's what's got me, kind of like the very, very early days of the NWO. What's going on? Who's coming in? Where's, what's the deal? But I think, is it just going to be the four of them? Classignoli, Pac, Moxley, and Marina Shafir. Now, at some point now, if it's just four of them, you got to somehow put together a credible 3-man, 1-woman team that could take them on. And who would that be? But if they want to buck the system, they got to go for the Bucks at some point.
I hope it's not Shane, just because I've never been the biggest Shane McMahon fan. Despite whatever, I don't know the guy, just haven't been a big fan.
Yeah.
If this would be a swerve of like, this is how we turn Tony Khan into a heel, kind of like the NWO did with Eric Bischoff, I'd be like, you know what? That's interesting to me. I don't think that's the case, but that would be a real interesting swerve. Or they bring in some other hot free agent, more on the managerial side, or being the face of something.
Yeah,
I don't know what would be out there in that case, but that would intrigue me.
Yeah.
But I'm very intrigued by the storyline itself. And the fact of, I really love how they're playing Wheeler Yuta in this too, because Wheeler Yuta is torn between being with Bryan Danielson, his teacher, his, good friend.
Yep, his mentor.
Or does he go with Claudio and Wheeler? Or Claudio and Wheeler. Claudio and Pac, who he's actually trios champions with. So there's that little tear there, and Wheeler Yuta's caught in the middle. So,
yeah,
interesting stuff. The other big AEW news, and there's a couple of parts to this. One, they celebrated their 5th anniversary show on Wednesday, so congratulations to them.
Mm-hmm.
2, we saw another debut MVP is now in AEW. And according to multiple reports, they have signed both Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
Well, Shelton
Benjamin, we
Benjamin
saw
debuted
this
this past
past week.
Wednesday.
Yep. And Lashley's being reported as of now.
Yeah.
Unless Lashley's going to be a killer guy type, I don't know how he fits in here.
He what they need to do with Lashley, if the rumors are true, with Hobbs out and every other big man they don't know what to do with, he needs to be that just dominating destroyer of a big man. Because besides Big Bill, is there any other big man in the company? Well, there's him, there's the Murder Hawk, but they never know what to do with those big guys. And I never thought about it until the other day when somebody mentioned it online. They named off all the big guys, them, Brian Cage, uh, Powerhouse Hobbs. They seem to never have a real direction for any of those guys. Now, personally, Hobbs should have been world champion already, in my opinion, out of all the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one. I mean, if you remember what he looked like, he was just a big, thick dude when he first started, and he put on a ton of muscle. You could tell he put in the work. I'm not saying nobody else did, but it was so obvious he put in the work that I think they're missing the opportunity with all these big men. Miro is now gone, so all these big men they don't know what to do, so they have to hit him right. If they don't, then it's just another wasted opportunity.
I'm happy you brought up Miro, because we'll get into that in a minute as well. But you're right. Hobbs, they had no idea what to do with. Wardlow, they dropped the ball with.
Yep.
Lance Archer, you're 100% right. Every big match Lance Archer's in, he fails. He loses. And we can't take it seriously. So listen, and I like the guy. They have to book Bobby Lashley as a killer. Only way this is going to work. He has to have that killer instinct and just go for it. So we'll see what happens. Lashley, again, yet to debut. But back to the Miro point you made. News broke the other day. He's been released of his AEW contract. And according to reports, WWE is keeping tabs on bringing him back, which I think would be awesome. Especially if they do it on Rusev Day.
Yes.
So, all right. Is there anything else, Jeff, you wanted to bring up in terms of AEW? Oh, one other thing on WWE.
Yeah.
The New Day. What do you think of the New Day stuff that's been going on?
I'm liking it. I mean, I love the New Day just as much as anybody else, but it kind of lost its way, its luster once Big E, when Big E was, unfortunately taken out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to do something different. And I think this is a good direction for them. Because, it's just been kind of boring with them, to be honest with you.
Not every gimmick lasts forever.
No.
I mean, even Taker changed from the dead man to the American Badass.
Yep.
So I don't mind the New Day going back to being heels. I think it suits them. They were great heels. They were very, especially Woods, very pompous at times. So
Hmm.
I'm in favor of this. I like the direction. I'd especially like more if Big E were to return. Maybe not as an in-ring competitor,
Yeah.
but just being there for the guys would be something worth watching for. So
He could be an agent just like what's his name? Jordan.
yeah. Oh man, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff going. Jeff, is there anything else you'd like to bring up?
Um even though it happened at the end of August going into September, but it let's see, and it just aired on Power. Well, congratulations to Tom Latimer becoming the new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion by defeating EC3.
You know what? Good call because you reminded me because that was supposed to be CW. NXT was on the CW this week. They
Mm-hmm.
made that debut. That was, I don't know if you watched NXT this week. That was a
Yep.
great show.
That was a really good show. I love the logo.
New belts were solid.
Yep, they looked pretty good. I was I was I was really impressed by it. The only thing now I'm kind of curious about, where does Ethan Page go from here? Because he wasn't a champion very long. Does he? I mean, back in the olden days, he would have his title shot, his rematch title shot coming any day now. So, I think if he ends up being the one to take it back off of Trick Willie, that's what Trick's cue to head right up to the main roster.
Yeah,
But
at some point, one of them is going up pretty quickly.
yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if that could lead to something with CM Punk tomorrow night,
Because
because
he was the referee.
he was the referee, and how he kind of propped up Trick Williams, so in the corner like he did at the show, and that could be lead to something tomorrow night at the pay-per-view, and that could lead to Ethan Page maybe getting a full-time spot up on the main roster. And I hate saying the main roster, but it is what it is. But I think that could be something to look into. We'll find out tomorrow night.
The other thing I'm very excited for, when Roxanne Perez finally gets called up. That match with her, I can't speak for everyone else. I had never seen Julia wrestle before.
Me neither.
That was some match.
It was. NXT is on fire. I mean, I don't know much about Julia or the other lady that's making her way in. But if you had to pick 5 women to build a wrestling roster around, at least on your female division, between all 3 main companies, if Roxanne Perez is near the top of that list, she's definitely in one of those 5 if you're taking 5.
She might be one.
Yeah.
The way she, because if I'm being honest with you, if we were to do the awards that we do, Superstar of the Year, Female Superstar of the Year, Male Superstar, she's right now in my opinion, a front line for Female Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, across all 3 brands, correct.
Yeah, even if you wanted to just stick to the WWE, but yeah, if we're going all 3 brands, yeah, I think she's across 100%.
I meant like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Oh yeah,
yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, you could throw in AEW and Impact or TNA now, and she'd still be in that top 5.
Yeah, listen, if you throw in TNA, she might wind up 2 behind Jordan Grace.
Yeah, Jordan's definitely one.
But that's just it. And she wrestled Jordan Grace.
Yeah, and that was another amazing match.
So, yeah.
I guess we got to thank Booker T. We got to thank Booker T for training her so well.
We can dig it, sucker.
Yeah. Booker. Love Booker.
Oh, one of the
Love
best entrances in the game.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do for this live edition of the Face Turn podcast here on the Sports Insanity Network. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Check out the website, www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. Great blogs, vlogs, planes, trains, and automobiles. Follow us on the socials. We're on the Facebook. We're on Twitter at SInsanityReal. And, you're on YouTube now. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever that good stuff is. For Jeff, I'm Mike. We'll talk to you all soon. Enjoy Bad Blood tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody.